And you're welcome back. Thank you for staying with us. Taking you through the focus for today, the presidential candidate of the Labour Party, Peter Obi, on Monday slammed the Supreme Court judgment that affirmed President Bola Tinubu's victory, saying that he found the verdict contradictory and disappointing. However, in a swift response, the presidency slammed Obi, describing him as a copycat who tried in vain to gaslight Nigerians with false claims and innuendos. Obi, at a press conference in Abuja on Monday, formally reacted to the October 26th judgment of the Supreme Court, saying he was disappointed that despite the plethora of evidence placed before the apex court, the justices chose to focus on technicality rather than substance, thereby breaching the confidence of Nigerians in the judiciary. He said, and I quote, "Setting legal issues aside, the Supreme Court exhibited a disturbing aversion of public opinion, just as it abandoned its responsibility as a court of law and policy. It is therefore with great dismay I observe that the court's decision contradicts the overwhelming evidence of election rigging, false claim of a technical glitch, substantial non-compliance with rules set by INEC itself, as well as matters of perjury, identity theft, and forgery that have been brought to light in the course of this election matter." And that's end of quote. It is quite a long read, but of course, joining us to have this conversation this morning is Mr. Ziggy Ibe. He is a political analyst and social commentator. Good morning. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you for having me.
All right, let us take a look at Obi's reaction to the apex court's judgment. While it is understandable that, people would have their opinions and they are well within their rights to express their displeasures or however they might feel about certain situations, all the schools of thought have described Obi's reaction as unnecessary and disrespectful to the Nigerian judiciary. Do you share these opinions?
Sure. Every same mind would do the same line, because line of thought, because judiciary, the Supreme Court is the highest court of the land, and whatever thing Supreme Court says is final. Okay? The finality in their pronouncement comes when all issues are viewed from broad spectrum, from every size of the explanation, from every view, and at the end, in totality, it was decided that this remains same. And to every same mind, it ends there. Okay, because what we just put in our past is a context, is export, and the moment is concluded, the two arbiters, the INEC as an umpire of our electoral institution, and judiciary, these are two great empires, and both had come to actually conclude conclusively on this. So it shortens anybody's mind from not attempting to even go into what has been decided. So Obi shouldn't have talked about it. To me, it is watery. To me, it is unnecessary. To me, it is hitting the dead horse. Okay, and at this point, and not minding from his own point that Obi was once a beneficiary of the same court decision. Okay, Obi was once a governor in Anambra State, and he rode on the back of the Supreme Court. Okay, so at this point, coming to express dissatisfaction and disbelief at the pronouncement of the Supreme Court shocks every sane mind. And one will begin to ask, is it the same mind? What has changed? So at this point, I don't think Obi should have gone that far. But then he has done, and it's okay. It's okay. We've seen how petty that comes. Yeah, it's petty. you know.
But he did raise certain issues. I mean, and of course, he accused the Supreme Court of exhibiting a disturbing version of public opinion.
Yeah, what is public opinion here? You know, to a large extent, who would just think that is public opinion court of law? No. These are two different issues. Legality is not sentiments. You went to court believing that you were shortchanged from an electoral activities. All well and good. That is being a level right. You went and you were asked for evidences. Look, judges are not magicians. It is what is put on the table that is assessed. So he was asked, bring evidences from all the electoral compilations and all that. Bring all you have. And he brought them. Other parties were asked to. Obi wasn't the only apparent, litigant in that case. The other litigants, from whose views, a collection of views will be viewed, you know. And after it, the court now rose to a conclusive decision that this is what actually transpired. If it didn't go your way, it doesn't make the court any less big. It doesn't. All it is that it wasn't decided in your own case because you couldn't give an overwhelming evidence. Because the judges will sit down to look at evidences from both all the litigants, and each of the litigants come with their own evidences. So it will be weighed based on what is put on the table. Okay? When you are saying in point A or point B or a particular location and the other, certain things didn't do that, did you bring the evidence? Was it put on the table? And, you know, don't forget, Supreme Court wasn't the first place of court of instance. They went to PE, the tribunal. So from the tribunal, the case graduated to Supreme Court. And at the Supreme Court, it was viewed to that, look, what the PEC judged was actually right, because it was still the evidences. Other things that were introduced after the PEC concluded their listing was not necessary because there was no such deposition. It wasn't allowed. So when you are talking about court of public opinion, is it on mass media or something, sentiment should be removed here, because we are talking about a very corporate activity that took place in a sovereign nation. So it is a serious business, not a petty, not small business. So everything were viewed, and at the end it was concluded to another. So what I expect from Obi is that spirit of sportsmanship. You know, give your congratulatory message to who actually won the election and moves on. At this point, electioneering periods comes from the starting of the electioneering activities, then the election proper, and post-election. We are now in post-election, where governance is what is on the table. So at this point, every leader, everybody who participated in that election should now come up with his own ideas. And like he said, a lot of parties said, I shouldn't throw totally out what he said. He said, at this point, we are going to play a robust opposition. Opposition, a viable opposition is very good in a lively democracy, because that they are going to become a watchdog to the party that is in power. Okay, at this point, they are going to shred constructively where they need to be shredded. They are going to look at critically where issues need. You know, they are going to become a mass voice to the public, and that is the viability of the opposition we are talking about. So coming from that end, I commend you for that. But there are so many larger areas here say that are not necessary, because at this time we've moved on. The train has moved from the anchor.
All right. Accepted, the train has moved on, but then let's go back to a couple of issues you raised. You would agree with me that we have two courts: the court of public opinion, of course, the court of public.
One is legal, one is illegal.
Of course, whether one is illegal and one is legal, we understand that there are two courts.
Yes.
Now let's look at the issue that was raised, especially in the court of law,
which is legal.
Which is legal.